I forgot to tell my wife about the hidden cameras I installed. The red light blinked in the corner of the living room, a tiny pulse buried in the shadow of a bookshelf. I'd installed a camera 3 weeks ago, tucked behind a dog-eared copy of Moby Dick, after the late-night call started. Sarah's phone would hum at 2 a.m., her silhouette slipping out of bed, her whispers drifting from the kitchen like ghosts. "Wake," she'd say, brushing it off with a tired smile, but her eyes darted away, and my gut churned with a sick, unspoken dread. I didn't tell her about the cameras. Not the one in the living room, not the one in the hallway, not the one angle over the front door. I told myself it was for security. Our neighborhood had seen a few break-ins, but the lie tasted sour. I needed proof, something to quiet the paranoia gnawing at my ribs. So I watched. Every night, after she fell asleep, I'd pull up the feed on my laptop, the grainy footage flickering like a silent film. The house was still, too still, the kind of quiet that presses against your eardrums until you hear your own pulse. Last night, the footage changed. At 1:47 a.m., Sarah crept downstairs, her bare feet silent on the hardwood. She wore my old college sweatshirt, the one she stole when we were dating, its sleeves frayed from years of love. My chest ached watching her, the way she moved with purpose, her phone glowing in her hand. She didn't go to the kitchen. She opened the front door. A shadow stepped inside, a man, tall, his face obscured by a baseball cap. My breath caught, sharp and jagged, like I'd swallowed glass. They didn't touch, not at first. They stood in the dim glow of the porch light filtering through the blinds, their voices low, urgent. I turned up the volume, my fingers trembling. "You can't keep coming here," Sarah whispered, her tone frayed with panic. "You're starting to suspect." The man's voice was a low rumble, too muffled to make out, but his hand grazed her arm, and she didn't pull away. My heart slammed against my ribs, a caged animal desperate to break free. I wanted to scream, to storm downstairs and confront them, but my body wouldn't move. Doubt crept in, slimy and cold. Maybe it was innocent. Maybe he was a co-worker, a friend, someone helping her through something I didn't understand. We'd been distant lately. My late nights at the office, her clipped responses over dinner. Had I pushed her to this? The footage looped in my mind, her whispered words carving deeper each time. Is starting to suspect. The man left after 10 minutes, slipping out like a thief. Sarah stood by the door, her shoulders shaking, and I realized she was crying. Not the loud, dramatic sobs of movies, but a quiet, broken shudder that made my throat tighten. I wanted to hold her, to demand answers, to beg her to tell me I was wrong. But I didn't. I closed the laptop and lay in bed, staring at the ceiling, the red light's pulse echoing in my skull. This morning, Sarah was herself again, or close enough. She hummed while making coffee, the scent of roasted beans filling the kitchen. "You okay, Tom?" she asked, her eyes soft but searching. I nodded, my tongue heavy, the words "who was he?" burning in my throat. I couldn't say it. Not yet. Instead, I watched her pour cream into her mug, her hand steady, and wondered how she could act so normal when my world was fracturing. The day dragged, each hour a slow bleed of suspicion and guilt. Was I the fool for doubting her? Or was she playing me, her love a mask for something darker? I checked the cameras again during lunch, my office door locked, the footage grainy but damning. The man's cap hid his face, but his posture, confident, familiar, gnawed at me. I knew that stance, didn't I? A colleague? A friend? My brother? The thought made my stomach lurch. Tonight, I'll watch again. The cameras are still rolling, their red eyes unblinking. Sarah's at book club, or so she says, her car pulling out of the driveway an hour ago. I'm alone in the house, the silence thick, the air heavy with the scent of her lavender shampoo lingering on the couch. My laptop hums, the feed loading. I don't know what I'll see, but I can't stop. Not now. Not when the truth is so close, sharp enough to cut. The door creaks open. Sarah's voice, soft and startled, fills the feed. "Tom, you home early?" My heart stops. She's not alone. The man's there again, his cap low, his hand on her back. But this time, he steps into the light, and the world tilts. It's not a stranger. It's me, my face, my body, my voice. Sarah, the other me, says, his tone warm, intimate. We need to talk about us. The laptop slips from my hands, crashing to the floor. My reflection in the screen stares back, but it's not me. Not anymore.